the five great elements. It's a concept from Ayurveda. Basically, Ayurveda is very dear to my heart. Ayurveda actually put me on the spiritual path. So, the five great elements, as you know, everything in this world is made up of five great elements. Basically, people are different, you are different, I am different, your friend is different, your mother is different, your father is different. So, how is it all happening? How they are different? So the difference is due to the cocktail of five elements. Let's say somebody is having a dominant air element, he will act differently. Somebody is having a dominant fire element, he will act differently. He will act aggressive. Let's say somebody is having a, let's say ki dominant earth or water element. He will be a gross. He will be stronger, hard body, hard muscles. So that's how everybody is different, and that's how it works. Give me a minute. Let me check my voice. Is it on my other phone? Is it fine or not? Give me a minute. Check options. Notification. Okay. Am I audible? Am I audible? Yeah, I think it's fine. It's fine. It's going fine. Okay. So we were talking about the five great elements. So let me introduce to the five great elements. The first element is the fire, air element, ether element, earth element, and water element. You see, every element has its characteristics. That's why, let's say, like I said earlier, somebody is having a dominant fire element. So you see, a dominant fire element is aggressive, is fire, is go-getter. That's why everybody acts differently. And it also depends upon the proportion. Let's say a fire element is more and more dominant. The person will be very aggressive. He will be having a strong fire. Let's say he will digest everything very quickly as compared to the person who is having a low fire element or say non-dominant fire element. And if it is too much, he will burn down all the food he is eating. That's how it's like fire. You see, if it's in a controlled form, you will cook food good. You will cook good food, eatable food. Let's say it's out of your control, you will burn down your food. That's how it works, and that's how all the elements work. So coming down to all the elements, I'll tell you, let's say I say, uh, in this world, everything is made up of five elements. Okay, you, me, and even this world, the earth you live in is made up of five elements. So five elements, okay. Okay. So the five elements we were talking about, I was saying the five elements in this world. Let's say there is some place there is having a high wind element, air element, I must say. You see there are windmills are planted there to make use of that air energy and to convert it into energy, other energy, let's say electricity, etc. That place is having more dominant air element. That is why you are using that. Okay, let's say you are there at a seaside. There is a sea there. You are there at a seaside, and at seaside you see there is a dominant water element. Of course, there is more water there, as you can see. So, water more dominant element. Let's say there may be more humidity or moisture depending upon the climate there and other elements, how they play with that dominant water element there. That's how it works. Okay, and fire element, how does fire element work in the world? Say fire element, let's say you are having more heat areas. They are having more, it's high temperature, let's say it's 45 degrees, 50 degrees of temperature they are having, and maybe more. I don't know if there are more temperature at some places. That's how the fire element, this dominant fire element, that the heat coming from the sun and making a place more hot, that place is having more fire element. And you see as you go from earth to the ether element, the grossest element is the earth element, and after earth we have water, less grosser than earth, and after earth we have fire, it's less grosser than water, and after fire we have air, it's less grosser than fire, of course, and ether element, it is least grossest element or the subtlest of all the elements, we can say. So the all the five elements, and you see we left the space element. So the ether or space element, everything else. Let's say I am waving my hand here. This is space element, or all space element is here. So this is the part of space element. All the elements are here. Same. Let's say places. There are places where having some element dominant there and some element dominant there. Same is within our body. Let's say I am having a more of space element. So it's the most mysterious element is the space element. Everything contains space element basically. So I am having a more space element. So I am more open to things. I welcome everyone. I accept everyone because everything accepts in the space. Let's say I put this here, space elements, accepts it. But let's say I put this in water element or in anything, let's say container having water. Water may not accept it, it may accept it, it may not accept it. But ether element, for people having dominant ether element, will accept everyone. So that's how it works. See, ether element, you can keep it anywhere, everywhere. So that's how ether element works. People dominate with ether element. So let's say we are living on Earth. Outside Earth is ether element. Ether element is everywhere. It's the most subtle element. Ether element. Okay. Now let's talk about five element. The same concept I will tell you. The Hello, Sanaya Chauhan. Welcome to our channel. So we were talking about food. Let's say our food also have something dominant. I am great, Sanaya Chauhan. You say. So we were talking about the let's say food, how your food works. So in food, let's take some example. Which food has which dominant element? So in dominant element, let's say we take almonds. You see, almond is very gross, so it is having less space element. Does that make sense? And let's say talk about other things like leafy vegetables. We can say cauliflowers or I don't know what we call palak in English. I forgot what it's called. Let's say any leafy vegetable. It is having the leafy vegetable is having uh, less of earth element. It's more of an air element. You see, it is light, very light. You catch any leaf, it is very light. So that type of foods are having more air element, and less you say earth element, earth and water element. Water element is simple. You say anything having juiciness is more of a water element. Let's say watermelon. You see watermelon, it is having more of water, more water element and more space element. If we are talking from inside, it's heavy. If you let's say take the red part of a watermelon, if you crush it, it will get crushed from your hand. But it is not the same in case of an almond. You cannot crush an almond like this or this, but you can crush a watermelon like this. That's how it works. That's how you can judge, let's say, which food is having which element. That's how you can judge with the perception only. And that's how, let's say, a person having more of ether element. In Ayurveda, everything is about balance. So if you need to balance, let's say, people having ether element more with let's say you want to balance him, so he needs more of an earth and water element. So if say people having more of ether element, if you feed them almonds, almond is having more of earth element, so he will get a balance from earth element to, sorry, space element to earth element. That's how it works. It is all about balance in Ayurveda. You are balancing things from one element to another. That's how it works. It is all about balance. That is why food is different for everyone. My food will be different from your food. Your food will be different from my food. That's how we do it in Ayurveda. That's what the basis of Ayurveda is all about. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. Let's say other element. You pick up wheat, wheat grain. Sometimes you have to go backwards. Let's say roots of the thing, how it was when it was a seed. You can see you take wheat. You pick up a wheat seed and you try to press it. You will find that it is a very hard element. It is having more gross element. Let's say earth element. It is having, and you say you pick up a rice. You pick up rice and you may break rice like this, but you cannot break wheat like this. So what it is telling you is that wheat is more grosser than rice. That's it what telling you. Wheat is having more of an earth element than your rice. That's how it works. Okay. Or we can say more, let's say, what do we pick? Vegetables. We have fruits. Let's say any fruits we pick. Most of the fruits have more of a water element. That's why, and our body is, let's say, made up of 70% water. That is why whenever you eat fruits or juicy vegetables or anything having water element, you feel good because 70% of your body is water. And of course, it is completing that requirement from there. So you see, everything in this world is like this only, and that's how it works. Other things we can say in Ayurveda. Actually, these elements are divided into Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Vata is having air and ether element. Pitta is having fire and water element, and Kapha is having water and earth element. And we can go further in elements. The rishis of Ayurveda, that's how they heal you. It is all about balance. Let's say somebody is having a more of water element, he needs more of air element to balance that water element, or more of a fire element to balance that water element of his. That's how it works. And okay, how will you check there is a more of fire element in any food? Fire element, that's how you check fire element. The source of fire in nature is the sun. The things getting more of sunlight will have more of fire element. Are you getting it? things having more of sunlight. Let's say some foods are grown underground. It is having a less of fire element because it is not in direct contact with the sunlight. The fire element in that goes down. Okay, let's say some fruit is continuously in the sunlight. It is continuously in the sunlight. That thing is having more of a fire element. So let's say a person having more of a water element, and you want to balance that person, you need to give him more. You need to give him more of fire element. You see, that's how Ayurveda works. The more you open your mind, the more you can see things how they are working here and there. That what is all about in Ayurveda, and it is very wide. And for foods, I told you about more about food, and let's say ether. More about I told you about ether. Let's say which food is having more of ether element. I told you, and I told you about air element. Like leafy vegetables are having more of air element. I told you about fire element. The thing hanging more in sunlight is having more of fire element. Okay, and we covered ether, air, water element. I told you the thing having more of juiciness or more water. You can at least the gross element you can see more clearly, of course. And earth element, the denser the food, the more the earth element, the less is the space element. These elements go very differently. Let's say I told you about almond. Almond is having more of earth element. It is dense and dense and dense, so it is having less and less of earth element. Sorry, ether element, and more of earth element. And a different we can say you can crush any food with your hand. Let's say watermelon. Inside of watermelon, you can crush it like this. So that watermelon is having more of ether element with the water element. That is why you can crush it with your hand, but you cannot crush an almond with your hand. So that's how I told you about. So we did fire, air, ether, water, and sorry, earth and water. That's how we did all the elements. So by just looking at the food, you can tell which food is having more of which element. You see, that's the you do not have to test anything. That's the power of Ayurveda that gives you. You can by looking at a food, you can say he's having this element. The people practicing Ayurveda, they can look at you and just tell you you are having this dosha, or you are having this dominant element, you are lacking this element. That's how just after looking at you, just look at you and tell you, okay, you need this element more. So that type of food they can suggest you. Or it is not just limited to food. Maybe in further videos we'll talk about more things about this to open up your perception. Open up your perception about that. So I think that's how today we talk about food. How food, you can choose your food according to the element. If you find out, let's say you are having more of fire element. So what element balances fire? Your water element balances your fire element. So you need food that are having more of water element. Example of water element food, let's say every fruit is having water element. Curd is having water element. Milk is having water element. So looking at other elements as well, the other element combination, you pick the food that is good for you. That's how it works. That's how an Ayurvedic practitioner will tell you. That's Ayurveda and yoga sister science. That's how a yoga practitioner will tell you how yoga and Ayurveda sister sciences. So an Ayurvedic dietitian or an Ayurvedic nutritionist will tell you this type of food will suit you more than other type of food. So using this, the element concept he's telling you, you will suit this food, but you will not be feeling good by eating this food. Okay, that's how it works. There are many things. Let's say even from starting from the morning till the evening, there are changes in the elements in your atmosphere. That's how Ayurveda, that's wide the Ayurveda is. And we are talking about food. We talk about the people, seasons. Every season has something dominant. Let's say rainy season has having a high of water element. You can see it is that wide. The concept of element is it everything. See, God made everything with just five elements. You simply have to make anything. Let's say you have to cook anything. You need 10, 15, 20, 50 ingredients. But God, with just five elements, He made it everything. He made me. He made you with just five elements. That is that's how the concept of element. The more you think, the more your mind, you will see your mind opening up the elements, with the elements. You see everything is made up of elements. That is the power. Oh, I am repeating it again and again. That's the power of Ayurveda. You see, when you starting seeing things in that way, this element and this element and this element, okay, this person is having this element, your perception is out of the thing. You see things very differently than the person who just think having protein thing, having protein, carbs and fat. As compared to the person, you will see things very differently. That's how that will work for you. You are moving more and more towards spirituality when you enter these type of things here. Okay, I guess we'll end this session here only. This session here only. Maybe in next session we will talk about other things like seasons and other doshas, maybe which is your dominant dosha. We'll end the session here. To end the session. Mm, mm, okay. Mm, okay.